Good evening, sir. We welcome you
evening.
to Marshalls. Friends, it's our honor and pleasure to have architect Shri Tushar Desai ji with us today. Sir, tell us a little about yourself, sir. What really got you into architecture? What inspired you to become an architect?
Accident.
Good one.
No, really. I had actually gone to visit my sister in Ahmedabad. She was doing a medicine. One of her friends was doing architecture, and she came over to meet my sister, and she asked me what my plans were. So I said, I'm going to give my entrance exam for IIT next year, and I'm going to do chemical engineering. So she said, that's great. Yeah, why don't you do one thing? From tomorrow, there is an entrance exam starting at SEPT, Ahmedabad. You come and you give that exam. It will give an idea what entrance exams are all about.
Okay.
So I said, fine. And I started. I went there. I filled up the form and started giving exams. And they have a tier-based exam. So you pass in one exam, you move to the next one. You pass in that one, you move to the next round, and so on. So that way, I reached the interview stage.
Okay.
And by the time I had fallen in love with campus, I had zero idea what architecture is all about. But I knew that I wanted to spend next 6 years in that place.
Okay.
My dad was so worried. He in fact started asking, "ये architecture क्या है? पैसा है उसमें?" But I was determined that I am doing it. So I got through. But I think it was the most luckiest break of my whole life. Because I can't imagine myself being anything other than an architect.
Great. Sir, so how long have you been in this field?
I've been practicing for the last 30 years.
30 years. 3 decades.
3 decades.
So you've seen a revolution happen in the entire industry, right from very few products and options available to today where, there is so much available in terms of options and so on. So what do you think? Those better times, or is this better times?
I think all times are good times, right? It's just that we had different resources at our disposal at that time, and you have to make the best of those resources. And now you have different resources, so you have to learn about them, you have to adapt to them and use them. Society is also changing, value systems are also changing, so it would not be fair to say this is erosion and that was good old days. I think probably my predecessors would say that those were better days, and the days that we were in were not good days. So I think the world is becoming a small place. There's a lot of cultural mix happening, and it's becoming more and more challenging that how do you really design using new resources, keeping in mind that you are an Indian and yet you are living in the rest of the world. So you have to have Indian identity, you have to accept the fact that there are new products, new material, new modes, and build them in. So in fact it's fun, it is more and more challenging.
Sir, there is also this that the architects who are say 15 years, 20 years into practice, their detail and their understanding of the whole subject is much more superior than what it is today. Especially when we look at interior design, that it's not just furnishing, it is so much that goes into the entire design, which does not seems to come through. So where do you think is something lacking there?
There are 2-3 parts to this. I'm not I would also kind of tend to agree that presently there is lesser focus on function or the depth or the content, and there is greater focus on form or the packaging. But it's little too early to sort of pass a judgment on that, because I think we are in the middle of a major change in lifestyle, in social mores, in value system, and we may not realize it, but we are in the middle of something very big as I see it, and we feel that what is happening is not so good, but perhaps it is not any longer required. See, truthfully, when I started practicing in architecture and interior design, at the time there was much more limited palette, far more limited palette than what we have now. And of course, in colleges we learnt about every material in depth, in detail. We understood the characteristics of material, what it can do, what it can't do. Today, one doesn't have that kind of time. The amount of time that I had to design at that time was far more than the time typically given by a client also today to an architect. And also from very custom design and custom built interior design projects, we are becoming more and more pick and choose based interior design projects, where a lot of things are available, and you need a
Modular.
good eye more than anything else to really put things together. So also, as part of IID, I handle IIDMK Awards, which is now IID Anchor Awards, and every year I get to see some wonderful designs, being submitted by various participants. And I realized that slowly interior design is becoming more akin to fashion design. Right, timelessness, something that we were taught in those days as the single biggest value to assign to the interior, is it's not any longer that valid. I mean, it's all right to design interior which will last 5 years and feel dated, and you change it and you move to new things. And in fact, that is the most unsustainable thing that is happening, because the sustainable interiors, as I understand, were something that would last a taste of time. Not from the aesthetics point of view alone, but the fact that the interior would remain valid for the user for a long time would mean that you are using lesser resources in still giving that person a comfort or a sense of belonging. And today, every 2 years, every 3 years, if you're going to change the entire decor or design, then you are wasting so many more resources. But I guess that is the part of the culture that we are in. It is from a culture of making do with less. Right? We are now in a very consumer culture where more is good. And again, it's a cycle. I'm sure that 5 years down the line, one would be looking at it, and it would have taken some a different direction.
Sure. We see a lot of customers when we call them, that would you like to redo your house, because wallpapers, furnishings, 3-4 years they look at a change and so on. People say we are changing the house, so at the right time you've called. And so today, it's sustainability even in those areas, that people just change their apartments and everything that fast. Earlier, you grew up in a house and
two
you lived
generations
there
would
ever.
be in one house. Absolutely.
That's where things are.
No, I think a lot of values are changing. We are becoming a consumerist culture, and some of these are offshoots of that.
And so much of options that are available.
So many options available, and very less patience now. Nobody can wait, because by the time, if typically I would take 2 years to do a house, it's time for them to change the house.
Right. So with residential, commercial and hospitality, which area would you say is your area of specialization?
None really, in the sense that we have very deliberately, very consciously stayed away from doing only one type of work, because I believe that is what keeps us alive. Because every project becomes a new challenge, and every work you are kind of starting from scratch. So we deliberately choose to keep doing everything, even from industrial interiors to residential to commercial to retail to hospitality to exhibition.
To education and
to education, yes.
Schools, colleges is
Yes.
not new to you.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's fun, and in fact, 3 of my ID National Awards that I won,
Yeah.
that project type was the first time that we had attempted.
Okay.
The education institutions or the hospitality or the exhibition, all 3 projects that won ID Award one after the other were all the ones that we had never attempted before.
Okay.
So I think it enabled us to bring out our best.
Yeah, certainly.
It means more work. There is nothing fixed. There are no rule of thumb by which a design is made, but we enjoy that part.
Great. So which would have been your most challenging job in these 30 years that you've been in business? Most challenging one.
I think it would be. I won't be able to tell you any one job that was most challenging. Well, there will be some jobs where I would say we performed, in my opinion, better than other jobs, or some projects that we enjoyed doing more. Maybe to do with kind of freedom that we got, or perhaps the fact that we are more focused, more tuned in at that time. But otherwise, all jobs have some challenge or the other.
Yes.
And it's you have to look for that challenge and address that challenge.
So which could be your dream project, sir? This is what I would want to create, and You know, of course, architecture itself is, you know, it's a signature on in concrete, so it stands always. But what could be that one dream project that you would want to build?
Never thought like that. Because see, I enjoy every whatever project we take up, right? We take up because we find it very exciting to take up that project, and at that moment that is a dream project, and when that's over, then the next dream project starts. So that's one advantage, that you can keep having many dream projects and not one.
Great.
I don't have any. I mean, it's not like that. Okay, this is one thing I wish I could do.
Okay, great. So it was such a pleasure talking to you and having you here.
My pleasure too. Pleasure
Thank
being here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.